We are ready to go. Tip off between Lupe and Space Puppies. Lupe on the blue side, Space Puppies, as you see, on the orange side. Here we go.
Looking for another close, exciting game. I really love seeing those. Not so much interested in the landside victories as we saw in Game 1 of the last series.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. Lupe right now working on their offense.
Oh, if he misses this could be very nice defense there. Good pickup there by Space Puppies to get in there and smack that ball away into the other zone.
Yeah, and it looked like Lupe right there saw that the setup wasn't exactly the most crisp setup. They kind of backed off a little bit back on the defense there.
Certainly. Looks like we're searching for another center there. Both kind of clumped up. This isn't very good for Lupe. They got to kind of keep that separation there. Otherwise, Space Puppies will come in for an easy pick here.
Oh, and there you go. Sensing that momentum, trying to get that easy pick that you were talking about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're going to have to make a nice little play off the wall here, and they do. Coming around for the center. Defender's going to have to get in the position slightly out, and it looks like Space Puppies was a little bit late there to make the play.
Yeah, definitely. It might have almost caught them off guard that opportunity kind of opened up for them.
Right, absolutely. Got to wonder what was in the boost tank at that point in time.
Yes. Boost tank, having boosts in general, very important in this game.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught with the ball in front of the goal and not have any boost in the tank. Is very well might just happen right there again. Very close near goal from Space Puppies.
Back in the orange zone now. Oh, and Space Puppies missing a chance to clear it, but right there, getting the clear back into the blue zone.
Right, great aerial shot. Nice center here in front of the goal. Nobody there to answer. Nobody there at all. Looks like we'll go for another center attempt, but the defense is on par with what's happening now as they knock it into the end of the Space Puppies, looking to get their own center and goal set up. Perfect center here. A little bit too high on the rocket jump. It does make it in anyhow.
Unfortunate there. Just going to say both players actually setting up for a block. A little bit of miscommunication maybe even throwing each other off there.
Great cleanup, though.
Yeah,
great
mistiming the block there, allowing Lupe to score that one.
Here we are at the face-off again. It looks like it will be in favor of Lupe. Nice rocket jump there to get the ball into the other end. But nice defense once again as it makes its way towards Space Puppy's goal.
And there's a setup. Oh, misses the hit to try to set up a center there. Giving the opportunity for Lupe here to set something up, but good defense there, stopping the setup.
Great defense there by Space Puppies. Really important to not let that ball get too far in front of you. Otherwise, it is kind of a lost cause. It will make its way to that goal if you're not careful.
Oh, and spending the boost there to try to get something going on there. Oh, and this might be a little bit...
Nice little breakaway here. This should find its way into the net, and it does. Lupe now 2 up on the board over Space Puppies.
Yeah, Space Puppies, they're kind of lost. Probably wasn't sure of each other's position there. A little bit of miscommunication, out of position, and found themselves with an open goal there, allowing Lupe to score.
They certainly must be discussing by now who's going to play the defender in a situation like that, who's going to fall back, who's going to go in. Can't be allowing any more goals like that if they're looking to take Game 1. But there still is a chance here for Space Puppies with a little over 2 minutes left on the clock. Anything could happen. Nice little breakaway here from Space Puppies. Can they find it? And they do.
Very nice. Kind of found Lupe a little bit, playing a little risky there. I know they had a 2-0 lead, maybe trying to really wrap it up, maybe with a 3-0 lead, but giving it up there. And I don't know if I would have gone for that risk there. Now they're kind of putting Space Puppies back in, but we'll see what they can do with that.
They could definitely afford to play a little bit more defensively here, maintaining that lead.
Exactly.
Not going for too aggressive of plays. Nice defense there, keeping the ball back in the other end. A little bit of a ping-pong match we have here.
Well, and Space Puppies going really aggressive right now, really trying to even things up right away.
I like how this defender falls back in anticipation of that ball coming into his end. Good rocket jump there, a lot of boost expended, not a lot of value on it.
Yeah, lucky for them and unfortunate for him, he did boost right into another boost pickup, so he probably got... Oh!
Nice bounce into the goal. Very fortunate from Space Puppies. Good pickup there. Let's take another look at that and see exactly what happened. Nice pass to himself off the wall and finds the angle.
Yeah, he probably caught Lupe, the defender there, a little bit off guard. Probably thought he was just going to shoot it, throwing it off the wall, faking him out, getting the goal. Well done there. Now we're tied 2-2 with 1:30 left on the clock.
Some of those higher arcing goals are some of the hardest to defend against.
Yes.
You have to expend the rocket to get up there. You have to get there in time.
Right.
And the way it just kind of bounced in there would have thrown any defender off.
Right, as you were saying, number one, you have to have the boost.
Right.
You have to have the angle. You have to have the right position to even be challenging it right there.
Right, the timing is so key there. Nice clear here from Space Puppies. Lupe, of course, having that defender back there to bring it back in.
Yeah, expending that boost to get it back into the orange zone for a little bit, but we're back in the blue zone.
Looks like he needed a little bit help there from his defender, and they finally make it back into the Space Puppies territory here. Nice center here. This could find the goal just a little bit wide to the left. Couldn't find the angle on that one.
And with 44 seconds left, Blue looking for an opportunity, and this might be it. Oh!
Nice goal there after the demolition. Way to clear up the field and put it in the net with only 38 seconds left on the clock. This could be game one for Lupe.
And you see the demolition. I don't know if he meant to do that or if he meant to go for the ball.
That was straight out of a Michael Bay movie right there. That was a perfect shot of that replay.
And 38 seconds left. Still possible to tie things up, but it's going to be tough. They're going to have to take a lot of risks now. They don't have enough time to kind of sit back and wait for it to happen.
Yeah, needs to get some momentum behind the hits on this ball, kind of playing with it around in the corner. Finally gets it into the end of Lupe. Not quite the center they were looking for. Maybe a rocket jump coming out here. There it is. Nice center off the top. Will somebody find it? No. We will find the opposite.
And that was a good risk. They were coming down on the clock, and I agree with that. Just unfortunate that they kind of missed the setup there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They really needed that one there.
Yeah,
and it looks like Lupe will take game one in this best-of-3 series here.
Lupe taking the first game here. And we're going to see if Space Puppies... We saw them play a little bit more aggressive near the end.
Right.
That probably has to do with the time and them sensing the situation. They were down 2-1. But overall, a lot of cautious play from both sides. No one really trying to give anyone the momentum, the positional advantage there.
Right. Very, very careful, deliberate play. I'm really liking this series and how it's shaping up so far. These are two very well-matched teams. This is still anybody's series at this point. Of course, Lupe now leading 1-0. I really think at this point, anybody's series.
Yeah, I mean, both teams definitely played a good, solid game there. Small mistakes here and there really cost, gave Lupe the victory and cost Space Puppies the game there. Let's see how they can adapt or how they will adapt.
The face-off goes right down the middle, slightly on the side of Space Puppies. Not a big advantage there, but we will get a nice center. And a breakaway opportunity.
Do they have boost? There. This might be close. Just gets there in time to get the block.
Didn't look like, as you were saying, either team had very much boost there in the tank, as they kind of do that forward flip boost instead.
And that was a really, really bad clear job there, actually putting it back towards their goal, but fortunate for Lupe, not costing them.
Ooh, I like this dribble play off the wall, kind of keeping it away from his competitor. Defender in, comes in there for the clear to get that juggle sorted out. And it looks like it'll make a beeline for the goal. Lupe goes 1-0 versus Space Puppies relatively early in this game, too.
Yeah, we saw that player right there from Space Puppies trying to get to that ball in the air, just whiffing. And looks like the teammate in the back wasn't really ready for it. Maybe a little bit too close to the midline there.
Right, certainly out of position there, leaving his teammate there to defend solely. Gets too far behind the ball and just could not make up for it.
Yeah, couldn't recover to get back to the goal in time.
Oh, very good clear here over the top of the crossbar. Something that would have easily been a center.
We're back in the blue territory now. Oh, and expending all that boost to try to get it again, and that time not successful.
Yeah, missing the play off the wall there. Demolition does go down in favor of Space Puppies, leaving a 1v2. Very easy defense from there on out, as it does take about 3 seconds for your teammate to respawn once he gets demoed.
Oh, and that was a good pass there, good setup, but just not in cue. A little bit off time there.
Liking the arc on that center, does not actually hit the ball in. It just happens to bounce in anyway, but they'll take it nonetheless.
Yeah, they'll take it down 1-0, tying it up 1-1. A little bit unfortunate on Lupe's end. They both, I think, went for the block there, just both missing it, yeah.
Good effort there by Space Puppies to seal the deal on that goal, but it ends up just going in anyway.
Yeah, you would have to think Lupe is kicking themselves for that. They had the early lead, gave it right back. Space Puppies now tying things 1-1.
This is shaping up to be a very, very good series. I'm liking how close this play is here.
Oh, wow. Space Puppies really overcommitting. They're really trying to work something on the offense. But now back on defense.
A little bit too much on the ball there. It looks like it will bounce back in towards the goal of Lupe.
Oh, that was really close. Lupe actually ran out of boost there. A little bit fortunate that he just got to the ball first.
Nice play again off the wall. Nice little center there as well. Teammate not there to capitalize. He's a little bit far back, playing defender. Looks like Space Puppies not looking to be too aggressive in this matchup.
Oh, and that was a bad clear there. Almost passing it right back to Lupe there from Space Puppies. Didn't get punished for it, though.
I'm not liking the clumping up. It makes me really nervous to see them both clump up in a corner like that. One wrong angle, and it's another goal for Space Puppies.
Oh, and just as you're saying that, Space Puppies gets clumped up themselves, and they get scored on. Lupe seeing that.
Look at that. Nice breakaway shot, arced over his opponent and right into the goal. Very easy for him.
End to end. Great conversion there. Saw the opening and took it.
Absolutely. Face-off bounces in favor of Space Puppies here, but it's going to get knocked back. He's ready there to play the defensive, but it looks like it's not going to be needed here as he goes ahead and takes possession of the ball once again. Putting it in Space Puppies territory, looking to get the center. Space Puppies there to answer.
Oh, and that was the risk. We saw it for a quick second there. The player on Lupe's side who was guarding the net went for the risk, went with the boost jump, tried to push it into orange territory, whiffed, and instantly Space Puppies was on it, gets the goal. Great job by Space Puppies.
That clump, once again, proving to be a very poor defense, as it's just an easy pick for your opponents from there.
Yeah, you got to tell yourself, is there really a good reason for me to be right behind my teammate in that situation?
Absolutely not. Leaves the whole rest of the field wide open territory.
Yeah. And that could prove to be a huge goal. They were up 2-1 with about 2 minutes left.
Right. Absolutely. We are now tied up with just under 2 minutes left. Lupe 1-0 in the series, looking to close this out. Space Puppies with a great rocket boost defense there, looking to knock it back in territory. And Lupe with the miss there.
A little bit out of position now, but they should be able to get back.
Great center, great center. Nobody there to make the play, though.
Yeah, once again, maybe Space Puppies sensing that they didn't have the great setup there, opting to go back on defense. Great position there by Lupe, getting the block.
Centers to himself, misses the rocket jump to score there. And his teammate there's going to have to go back, make the defensive play.
Yeah, great job making that defensive play, though. Oh!
Despite being clumped up, it looks like Lupe will get another goal there. Very risky play, both going for the ball.
A little bit of miscommunication there. Both of the players on Space Puppies going for the clear there. And both whiffing.
Yeah, nice rocket jump there by Lupe, though. I like the angle on that play. Very great display of control and patience with the timing. And really everything it takes to make that rocket jump goal.
Yeah, and the situation was right for him. He had his teammate in his back to cover if it didn't work out. And he saw that both Space Puppies players had gone in the air.
Looks like this might be another goal. The defense is there to make the very narrow block.
Great pass! Great pass!
Oh my God! This is, I'm clenching my hands at just watching this. I have no idea what to say there.
That was so close, but just could
so much
not
back
finish.
And forth. So much juggling.
And 15 seconds left. They're going to have to make something happen right now.
They needed that so badly as well. They've got to be kicking themselves. Another chance
last
here.
Chance. It might just fall in.
The arc is just right to tie it up with 6 seconds left.
Clutch play by Space Puppies. Just gets the nose of the car on the ball. Good enough angle.
Oh, man, just barely clutching, keeping themselves in the series here. Space Puppies really needed that equalizer goal.
And neither team is going to want anything funny to happen in 6 seconds.
No, I think they're both going to try to make the play for overtime at this point. I don't think they'll risk anything too much.
And we are in. There's been a lot of overtimes. This is a lot of intense play so far tonight.
Yeah, a lot of good talent showing up here tonight at the Foundry. Great turnout.
Here we go. First offensive series. 2 Space Puppies. Great job on that block there by Lupe.
This ball bouncing dangerously close.
That was super dangerous.
Not a great clear there by Lupe, but they do get it out nonetheless. Space Puppies missing an opportunity to return fire, rotating back in behind. This looks like it may very well bounce in.
Oh!
Nice defense. It goes in anyway, and Lupe takes it in overtime.
Yeah, Lupe with the extremely risky play. Both players going for the ball. A little bit of miscommunication. Fortunately for them, the block, although he did block it, unfortunately for Space Puppies, falling still into the goal.
Very, very unlucky bounce there as the ball does find its way into the back of the net. Great effort there to make that defensive play, but they move on, taking the series 2-0, moving to the finals.